Let's start talking about transformative inclusion. What does that mean and how did that start?
You know, I think transformative inclusion is an effort to ensure that every person on the campus is transformed and made better by inclusion. So it's not about learning about different cultures. It's not about an increase in the number of diverse students or activities. Transformative inclusion means that every person in our community is wholeheartedly transformed and made better because of the presence of others in our community. So it's really about a full engagement with the topic and with issues. And that's what we're searching for right now. Not just let's add something to the community, but how do we engage in the topic of inclusion with our full selves, our full hearts, our full heads, so that we are all made better by it. Yeah. Anna?
When I heard you say adding, we're not just adding to, this reminded me of a phrase I picked up from you early in this work, which was additive inclusion. That is, we're not doing additive inclusion here. And I think this may be a phrase that has come out of our work here, so I'm not sure that it's familiar to others elsewhere, but the idea of additive inclusion is so much more common. The idea that we have something already and we want to add to it. And I think there's a lot of well-meaning efforts out there, and we've had well-meaning efforts like this here too, where we say, we want to be more inclusive. Let's figure out how we can add newcomers. Let's figure out how we can become more open about what we're already doing. How can people who show up feel welcome in this initiative? How can they feel like they learn the role or their part or the way we do things here? You know, that does not sound ill-intended. In fact, that sounds quite good, and that's a whole lot better than exclusion, exactly right. Overt exclusion. And we have plenty of overt exclusion in our world too. So I don't want to knock any kind of inclusion, but I do want to point out that additive inclusion both isn't what we're working on right now and isn't enough, because what it does is helps more people join what we're already doing. It does not have that fundamental transformative piece that you were stressing before. It doesn't say, now that you're here, who are we? Right. It just says, you come and join us. And these are different invitations, I think. I think the kind of inclusion that folks might think we're working on, if they just hear, oh, there's an inclusion effort going on at St. John's and St. Ben's, they might think, oh, well, at St. Ben's they want us to feel included, and so we do. But that, again, it's deeper than that. It's more. So the thing they might be familiar with is people might think, okay, inclusion means you're here, join us, come join us. But transformative inclusion says, you're here, now the us is new. We don't know the us right now because you're here. Let's become this new us. It's a very much more vulnerable position to be in. So that's, I think, what makes it transformative rather than, as you were saying, just an add to what we have now, inclusion.
Right. Some of the language that you've used and that I really appreciate is we're deconstructing the center. So we're not saying, welcome, you come in and be like the rest of us, because that's what community is. Yeah. We're saying, oh, you're here. We're going to reshape the center yes. and who we are. And for us, transformative inclusion isn't just about that work with students. It's not about bringing a student in and transforming a student in a unidirectional way. Right. It's how will that student transform who we are? Mm-hmm. How will that faculty member be transformed by and transform who we are? How will that support staff or administrator be transformed and transform who we are? So it's a much broader experience, as well as deconstructing that center and recognizing that the center every day has to reshape. So that's partly why the project is titled Becoming Community, because it means every day we become something new and something better with the transformation of the individuals who comprise our community.